set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. Now Taylor on first down. And his first look is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and now it's second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Boyfriend's got a cauliflower and so sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant. Trolling on the internet. No respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck. Coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck. You can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Me now. To your city, sending bass into your earlobes like your bleached out hairdos. We glowing in the dark, got the spark, about to flare the fuse. That's just how we do. Geronimo, parachute, skydiving off your parents' roof. Crew saw the magician's assistant in half like who the are you? Who the are you? Who the are we? We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come.
Thank you, Larry. Brandon Gaudin, along with Charles Davis here in the booth. We are set for a spectacular draft champions matchup and some spectacular talent on your screen right now. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get down to the field for kickoff. Two teams here amped and ready for football, and off we go in week 2 of Draft Champions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
We're going to be playing Draft Champions.
They'll throw on first down to Taylor. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to try to catch passes where people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On third down, Taylor. Buying time to his left. A dump off for Charles. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found there on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it. It's Taylor going underneath for Charles. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it off to Jamal Charles there. And it's second down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Play clock winding down. Here's Taylor to throw. He'll buy some time right. His throw incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And it's third down. Taylor will throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They lost 2 there, and it's third down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening. Position.
Sorry, guys, for that.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Backing up. Wide open, it's Marshall complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now a first down following that long gain.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So a second down incompletion.
Now brings up third down. Receive passes knocked down by the downs on the
Backs, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. In the red zone this time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Second and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll run it with Williams. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take it. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Surveying the field. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went 4-on-4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
He
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because...
Sorry for the blue screen.
We need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan. No fighting no more.
So guys, I'm gonna be playing my phone. So I'm just gonna start my draft.
Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision to make. Oh, did they get themselves a player here or what? Excellent selection. Just what this team needs to maybe get them over the hump. Yeah, I think they got the best player there, and they got a guy that fills a big need, so that's an excellent choice. And I think that pick comes to the surprise of nobody. You had to figure they'd lean that way if a player from that team became available. Still some big holes remaining to be filled. Here's where you may have to go after a lower-rated player just to make sure you get coverage in all areas. Definitely some options with this. Does this pick fill a big need? I'm not so sure that it does, but it is at least a slight improvement over what they had in place. Yeah, that's the kind of guy who can elevate that entire unit. He's a very talented addition. And now's where you need to make these last picks count. Time to fill any holes you can before it's too late. This is a pretty telling pick here. Do you go for a big bruiser up front or get yourself someone who could be a difference maker at a skill position? And now, which side of the football will they address here? Some interesting options either way. Boy, it's finger-crossing time now with the end in sight and a few more holes. Yeah, I think with that pick, you're just looking to build up your core. Get some guys in here that can help round out the roster. The Raiders may not be coming up the best season, but they do have a few good assets. And here's a chance for a second to come off the board.
Guys, that was just got it.
Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision. Well, not too tough to see into the thought process of that pick.
Sorry, guys.
Boy, you talked about a friendly turn to the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. Oh,
guys
no
are
need to worry
annoying.
about
I
this
like
guy.
it.
Just plug him right into the starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade. Well, the Ravens are a smash-mouth football team, and they've got a chance to have a second player drafted here. So, with a handful of starters already nailed down, you have to ask yourself, do you dare go for depth, or do you just try to cover as many areas of these middle rounds are where your decisions can really... Oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into the starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade. And this is a big piece of the puzzle right here. Maybe a no-brainer, but a great pick regardless. Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches, or someone who can really help you out in the playmaking type spot? 3 choices here, all of them impact players. Tough call here. Do you try and get tougher up front, or get yourself a player in what we call a skill position? Options here on both sides of the football. It's pretty much of a coin. Maybe not a huge upgrade over what they had already, but they're certainly building up some depth there.
Because I'm the daddy.